Well, I suppose technically it's the ability to be able to charge for what you do, but a lot of that comes down to your attitude and your, probably the main thing is to be able to pretty much guarantee a result. I think if you're just jagging the occasional magnificent photo and that goes into your portfolio and you can build up an amazing amount of work, but when somebody's paying you by the hour, they're going to need a result, and they're going to want you not to fail to get that result. And so the ones who succeed in being a professional photographer can pretty much guarantee a result for the client, I think. I was remarkably fortunate because of the way things started out for me. My father did a 10-night course at Tech and set up a darkroom at home, and I learnt how to process the film and everything first. And then he was away on a business trip, and my sister wanted some photos to go for a particular modelling job. She conned me into nicking Dad's camera, and I did some shots of her that turned out pretty well. So then a friend of hers wanted to enter the Dolly magazine competition, asked if I'd do some photos of her, and Dad was away, so that was great. I did that. And then about a month later, the magazine called the girl and said, "Can we see the rest of your portfolio?" So then there was a mad panic, "Quick, Chris, we need to do some more photos." But Dad was back and we had to own up to it all. And he was furious, but it was on a sort of a thing of success. So he loaned me the camera again and we did some more shots, and then she won it for the whole of Australia. And so her agency said, "Do you want to do some photos of the rest of our girls?" And I said, "Well, could they at least pay the cost of the film and processing?" And they said, "Chris, she just won a national competition. We'll pay you what we paid the guy we were using before." So my fourth shoot was my first professional shoot, and I didn't ever have to ask, really. I look at how things are now and see amazingly talented people struggling to get paid, and I do really believe I was very, very fortunate. It's really nice when you're walking down the street and someone introduces you to someone and says, "Oh, this is Chris, this is my photographer," and it lifts you because you know that they've been pleased with what you've done for them, In big shoots, confidentiality is huge. Some of the shoots that I've done, the budget's been $250,000, and if the opposition found out what had been shot, that money would be wasted. You always want to be respectful to the people that you're working with. There's no room in a shoot for a histrionics, for someone to be giving everybody grief and putting on a sort of a star turn kind of thing. You want everybody to realise that it's a job and you're working towards a result. Most of the people, especially on big shoots, all the people have their own talents, and if you're respectful of the fact that they know what they're doing and let them do their job, the shoot goes a lot smoother. Be respectful of the talent. You don't want to be making them feel uncomfortable in any way. I once had a stylist at the very beginning of quite a big shoot say, "You're so fat. How you expect to work when you're so fat?" Now, the rest of the shoot was spent trying to build the girl up because she just got destroyed before we even started shooting, So things like that are definite no-nos. It depends. There've been so many varied ones, and so you sort of tend to have favourites in particular areas. So one of my absolute favourites is a shot that I have an old guy in Bali in black and white that is just amazing. He is so old and so wizened, and it's great. And then there's another shot, one of my favourite models that we shot in the studio with the light coming through a bread crate, and that looks pretty great. And the other one really is probably from my 5th or 6th photo shoot, and it's a ballerina, and I look at it and I think, boy, you know, have I got any better? It's just a really, really good pic, using very, very basic gear at the time. But yeah, I look at that and smile. There's like a 30-minute test. So, you know, you go away from an image, and if you come back to it after 30 minutes and you go, whoa, geez, that's good. That's the mark of a good pic, you know.